Irene was the responsible one. Her whole life she'd been the responsible one. Good credit, stable job, money in the bank. When her brother needed a guarantor for his business loan, the bank looked at her file and said yes immediately. That was the problem. Victor was 40. Irene was 46. He'd wanted to open a restaurant for 20 years. He finally had the location, the concept, the plan. He just needed someone with strong credit to guarantee the loan. $240,000 over 7 years. Irene read the business plan. It seemed solid. Victor was passionate. She knew him his whole life. She signed. The restaurant opened. 6 months of promise. Good reviews, regular customers, the neighborhood responding. Victor called her every week those first 6 months. Excited, grateful, making payments. Then the head chef left. Then a health inspection found a ventilation issue that cost $40,000 to fix. Then a competing restaurant opened 3 blocks away. Victor's calls became less frequent, then stopped. Irene found out about the missed payments from the bank, not from her brother. The bank called on a Thursday afternoon. 3 missed payments. As guarantor, she was liable for the full outstanding balance, $196,000. The bank was beginning default proceedings. Her options were to pay to help the business recover, or to face legal action and the destruction of her credit. She called Victor. The conversation lasted 11 minutes. He said he was sorry. He said he'd planned to tell her. He said he didn't have the money. He'd been living off the business account for 2 months trying to keep it alive without admitting it was failing. Irene sat in her car in her office parking lot for 45 minutes after that call. She hired a lawyer. The business was liquidated. Equipment, fixtures, everything. The liquidation recovered $61,000 against the outstanding debt. Irene was responsible for the remaining $135,000. She negotiated a repayment structure with the bank. It would take her 9 years. She and Victor did not speak for 2 years. When they did, it was at their mother's birthday. They were civil. The money had not come back, and the conversation about it was not finished. Irene didn't know if it ever would be. What she knew: a guarantor is not a reference. A guarantor is the borrower's last resort, which means if the borrower fails, the guarantor becomes the borrower. No exceptions, no family clauses, no considerations for good intentions. Irene was the responsible one. She signed because of that. She paid for it because of that. Responsibility without information is just exposure wearing a good name. Would you guarantee a loan for someone you love? What would you need to know first?